By early 1944, Europe was bleeding. Nazi Germany still occupied most of Western Europe, and everyone knew one thing. The Allies were coming. From London to Berlin, the same question echoed in every war room. Where will the invasion land? Hitler believed the answer was obvious. The shortest route from England to France, Pas-de-Calais. And that belief would cost him the war. The Allied High Command faced a terrifying problem. If Germany concentrated its strongest forces at the real landing site, the invasion would fail. Hundreds of thousands would die on the beaches. So the Allies chose deception. Not a small lie, not a rumor, but the greatest military illusion in history. They would create an army so convincing that the enemy would prepare for a battle that would never happen. The birth of an army that didn't exist, they called it the First United States Army Group, FUSAG. On paper, it was massive. Over 1 million soldiers, hundreds of tanks, thousands of vehicles. In reality, it was made of rubber, wood, sound, and lies. Inflatable tanks were positioned carefully so they cast realistic shadows from the air. Fake trucks were parked in neat formations. Canvas airplanes were placed on runways that had never seen a real aircraft. From German reconnaissance planes, everything looked real. Too real. But equipment alone was not enough. An army needs voices, orders, movement. So Allied radio operators transmitted fake messages 24 hours a day. They spoke in realistic military codes. They argued, complained, requested supplies. German intelligence intercepted every word. The Allies even played recorded sounds of marching soldiers and tank engines through giant speakers at night. German spies reported hearing entire divisions moving. But there were no men, only echoes. To make the illusion perfect, the Allies used double agents. German spies who believed they were loyal to Berlin were secretly feeding false information, carefully crafted details that matched what German planes saw from the sky. Even General George S. Patton, one of America's most feared commanders, was placed in charge of the fake army. Hitler tröstet Patton, feared him, and when Patton commanded FUSAG, Hitler was convinced. D-Day begins June 6, 1944. As Allied troops stormed the beaches of Normandy, German commanders urgently requested reinforcements. They were denied. Hitler refused to move his elite armored divisions. Why? Because he believed Normandy was a decoy. The real invasion, he thought, was coming from the Phantom Army at Pas-de-Calais. He waited and waited. Days turned into weeks. German forces stayed frozen, guarding against an army that was nothing more than air. By the time Hitler realized the truth, Allied forces had already broken through France. The deception had worked. The Phantom Army never fired a bullet, yet it helped destroy Nazi Germany. The war won by shadows, historians later agreed. Without the Phantom Army, D-Day might have failed. An army made of lies changed the course of history. Sometimes, the deadliest weapon is not steel, but belief.